people, it's Cara here and I am so mad. So I just wanted to start by saying a big thank you to the lovely reception I've had for the last couple of videos I've done. I really enjoy being here, and you'll have seen Frugal Frocks 2021 that went up on the 10th of March. Thank you so much for lovely views on that, and your comments on what I should make. As I video this, I have made the dress for that, and I'll give you a sneak peek of the fabric for it, but obviously I can't reveal that until the 31st of March, and I'm not sure when this video will go out, so that may well be a thing in the past by then, so we'll have to wait and see. But I also shared my recent makes, and that was a batch of sewing that I'd done for some period of time, quite a long period of time, pre-move and all that sort of stuff. So I find myself in a lovely space where I actually am at my own liberty to decide what I want to sew, when I want to sew it. I haven't got any deadlines at the moment. I'm up to date on my Minerva make and my Felicity fabrics, etc, etc, which I absolutely adore doing, but I don't have any deadlines at the moment. So following on from Shop My Stash with me, I had lots of plans, some of which I've kept to, as you'll have seen in my recent makes, and some of which, as the season changes, are on hold, but not forgotten, they're still there. So on my ironing board in front of me here, which you can't see, which is a good job because it's not very attractive. The ironing board's lovely because I recently recovered that, but yeah, the pile of stuff on it's not so attractive. So this is the sort of the golden view, if you like, and yeah, it's chaos. Just chaos in here. There's a sewing room, it's a maker's room, isn't it? So let me get started and share with you what I'm making. Now, I had in my stash, I had two enormous pieces of jogging fabrics, the sweatshirting fabric that I got from Coalville fabrics. They always come in sort of 3 metre lengths. Let me show you. And I am still of the mindset that says I need warm things in my life. So this was one of them, beautiful burgundy colour, and you get 3 metres of this. It's super thick, like super thick, and it's a bit strange actually. I love the fabric I get from Coalville fabrics. This is the first time I've had something that's a little more, oh, it's just a strange fabric, because on the inside it's lovely and soft, you can see that, but it's got white bubbles that come from in the fabric, so it's like sticks to itself is the best way I can describe it. So I don't know if you can see that, probably not, but yeah, up close it's got lots and lots of bits of bubbles on it, and it becomes, it's from what comes on the inside. So that's a bit frustrating, but it's a lovely fabric, and I definitely wanted to use that. And then the other one is this one. This is another sweatshirting. It's a slightly thinner, this one, and I've not done this before because it comes in a tube, and it's lovely and soft on the inside. It comes in a tube and you have to cut it down one side. So I thought to myself, well, what can I make? And I've got the Billy sweatshirt, I've got the Molly dress, I've got the toaster, I've got the South Bank. You're all shouting at me, your screens of what I've got, I expect. But actually, I mean, not helped by my hair. I mean, look at my hair. This is a mental situation going on here. I just feel really, I feel really boring and old at the moment. There's nothing to do with lockdown because I'm still working, but it is to do with not getting my hair cut, not being able to sort of look a bit more trendy and stuff, and I just feel like I've sort of moulded into the same clothes. So I was on the lookout for a bit of a, I don't know, more trendy or something with a little bit more, I don't know, je ne sais quoi of the style of it, and for our Felicity Fabrics Secret Santa, I was very kindly gifted a voucher for the fold line from the lovely Marie Stitched Up, who is over on Instagram. She's part of the Felicity Fabrics vlogger. Now, it turned out not to be a Secret Santa, but that's fine, and I'm really grateful to Marie. So I went onto the fold line because they've got the most amazing pattern library on there, and you literally can type in sweatshirt or tops or whatever, and it comes up with loads of stuff. And what I found was, and it's really rare for me to print out the details, is this, and it's I forgot what it's called, the Orono top. I hope I'm saying that right. Obviously it come out backwards on your screen. This is from Itch to Stitch, and I absolutely love the styling of this. So you've got this wonderful crossover effect going on. So like, yeah, sort of two big pieces of fabric that are sort of cut at a lovely beautiful angle, and then it's got, you can't really see it there, I don't think so much, but it's got a lovely sort of neck, a bit like the South Bank sweater neck on that one, and then obviously full sleeves. I'm going to sneeze any second. Excuse me. And I just felt like this was a sweatshirt. It would give me the warmth I'm looking for, but hopefully a bit of style, a bit of additional something or other. So it was quite interesting because I really enjoy my daughter's view and an opinion, and actually part of why I'm making different stuff is because she said to me, "Oh mum, you like, you used to be all like mint velvet like, and now you've sort of moulded into something else." I'm like, "Oh, have I?" So I'm really that's kids for you, but I'm really questioning what I'm making. I'm making sure that I'm not like just moulding into the sameness, which I don't think I am, but I think there's some truth in the fact that I've gone for comfort over style, and maybe lost my edge a little bit. I don't know, but it's made me think anyway. So I asked her which of the two colours should I make the top in? Should I make it in the burgundy or should I make it in the grey? And mint velvet sort of colour palette, if you're familiar with mint velvet, is very grey. It's this sort of tones and things. So she said make it out of the grey. And it's quite funny because in my head I'm thinking, well, I'm going to make it out of the burgundy. So we'll wait and see which way round that goes. But I've got 3 meters of each, as you say, as I said, and I just think either of those colours would look really good. In fact, you probably could do some colour blocking and make one in multicolours, although the fabrics themselves, one's a bit heavier than the other, so I wouldn't do that in this situation. But well, let me know what you think. Should I go burgundy or should I go grey? If I like it, and maybe I'll go both. And what's really funny is in my own head I'm thinking, I'm actually urging myself not to make a matching set of the jogging bottoms because I just endlessly want sets of stuff. Well, here comes a whippet. Hello, Nala. She can't really get in here, I don't think. Hello, darling. How are you doing? You can't really say hello, can you? No, you can't say no. It's a bit too short these days to come. Yeah, I'm sitting on a higher chair. Oop, there's a whippet knock there. Oh, and a few ears shaking in the background. Anyway, sorry. So I just want to keep making matching sets of things so that when I walk through the front door I can put like joggers and a sweatshirt on. So stop with the matching sets. Anyone else suffering from this? This is why I think make yourself in one of both colours, because then you hopefully won't have enough fabric left to make some jogging bottoms. Enough about the jogging bottoms. Moving on. So that's one thing I'm going to do, and then the next one, and I'm going to put a picture in here because I haven't. It's really rare for me to print out the pictures. I normally instructions. I normally just do it off my phone, off a computer. As you'll know from my frugal frocks, I went back into, and I love working with Russian sewing patterns. They are super reasonable, just crazy low prices for phenomenal design. Yes, they're in Russian, but you can use your Chrome Translate or Google Translate to translate those, generally speaking. And when I was looking for my frugal frock, I went to the Russian websites to see what I could find. I have suggested a frugal frock, and that's from a company called Viki Sews. And whilst I was on their site, I saw a really cool sort of oversized hoodie sort of top thing. And if I put the picture here somewhere, it basically has got these geometric panels that you cut out, and then a zip, quite a long zip, and then an oversized hood. And the whole thing is just, yeah, as it says, oversized. But I love all the panels and things. So I'm going to make that, and I think I'm going to make that in the grey. just because it's more like outerwear, I think. That's my sort of more of my colour palette, and I feel more comfortable wearing something really big in grey than I would in burgundy. I think that's what where my head's going with that. So yeah, so picture up here. Now, I've had some fun and games with this in my preparation. It's a lot of pieces, which is fine. And you can translate the first part of buying a Russian pattern very easily, because it's if you've got Chrome, for example, it will auto-translate if you want it to. It doesn't actually auto-translate the instructions, which are the PDFs. So I've been having some fun with trying to work out how to get a PDF translated. Now, don't get me wrong, if you've got Adobe Reader and you pay for, or on the free trial or whatever, for converting it into Word, then you can then easily put that into Google Translate. That's the easy way of doing it. However, I don't want to pay any money for this. I rarely am using these patterns, and most of the time when you're using a Russian pattern, you can work it out from the pictures. This, however, requires some experience, and it turns out with the particular pattern I've chosen, everything's fine until I work out how on earth I'm going to do the facing with the zip, because the pictures are not helping me with this, not helping me at all. There's like a picture of a zip at a right angle, and I'm not sure. I can't work it out. The lovely Alex over at Gingerhead Company, or Gingerhead Sews, I forget, sorry, I'll put the right name down here. She's amazing. She's always talking about the Russian patterns, and she's a Russian translator by trade, so she has offered to help me out if I get really stuck, but she did come up with some magical things, and actually magical suggestions as to how to translate it, so I'm really grateful to you, Alex. Thank you. Actually, the weirdest thing to do is to have the instructions open on your computer in front of you, or your laptop in front of you, and then hold your phone screen over the picture on the computer and get Google to translate it, because that actually does work. Random as that sounds, you can hold your phone over your computer and it will translate it. Turns out the translation is interesting. It doesn't translate, it's sort of like in for like, it translates exactly like for like, which doesn't actually mean that it makes sense. So I'm none the wiser on that either. But nonetheless, long way of saying, I love the funky design of this top. I'm going to make it in the grey sweatshirt, and therefore I will have 2 sweatshirts in my wardrobe that will just hopefully add a bit more design, a bit more sort of, yeah, a bit more zhuzh, I suppose, to my wardrobe, and help me feel a bit more modern but still very warm, because it's still freezing here in England, especially where I am down in the southeast, although I know there are colder places in England than the southeast. What else have I got? So as I'm been talking about, let's move this one out of the way, as I've been talking about the frugal frocks, oh, there's the rest of the fabric just fallen onto the floor. Oh dear, what a nightmare. So I can give you a sneak peek, because part of my plans coming up are the Frugal Frocks Challenge. And I have, as I say, made my dress for that already. And a sneak peek is I have made it out of this beautiful viscose from Dragonfly Fabrics. So this is just a sort of a piece I had left over. But yeah, absolutely stunning viscose jersey. Out of all the choices I had, I'm looking up there because they're over there. I couldn't leave this fabric. I couldn't leave it any longer. Wanted to highlight it because it comes from Dragonfly Fabrics. I'm also going to make a Tabitha t-shirt with any of the fabric I've got left over, and that's part of my plans. So this is the Tabitha t-shirt here, and this comes from the Make It Simple book, which I absolutely love. I've made so many patterns out of here. But the Tabitha t-shirt is just a really simple t-shirt. It's not fitted so much at the sides, which I really like. It's just you got option of short, 3/4 or full length sleeves. What I will say is it's got quite a high neckline on it. And so what I've done is I've Frankensteined that of the Tabitha t-shirt, and I've put the Agnes neckline on it. Oops, sorry, I'm bopping the camera there. So I've put the Agnes neckline on it, which is a much lower scoop, like sort of a wider scoop if you like. and then I've put the neckline from the Agnes onto the Tabitha t-shirt as well. I've done that once before with a remnant I had, and I really enjoy that combination of the two things. So I find the Agnes is a lot of people use the Agnes, it's their go-to, but I find it fits, it comes in really well at the waist and then sort of goes right out at the sides, and I end up with this very strange shape at my waist, which doesn't work for me. It's nothing to do with the pattern, it's all about my sewing, I expect, but it's not what I wanted. What else have I got? Oh, I've been making the Petworth dress from the Sussex Seamstress. Really great feedback, and thank you to everybody who popped over to the Sussex Seamstress website and had a look and went over to on YouTube and watched their channel. Watch their channels, yeah, well, watch their videos. For those of you who don't know, I recently made the Tillington blouse. I'll put a link up to that there, and I did a review of that. It is still such a lovely blouse. It's one of my go-tos. It's got like it's a gypsy style with drawstrings. I'll pop a picture if I can remember here. And then it's got shirring on the wrists. Well, the Petworth dress uses the same top line and shirring, but has a lovely full length dress on it. And I have already started this. I've done the sleeves and I've done the shirring. I popped a picture of that on my Instagram account. But yeah, making that out of this lovely viscose that I got from Rainbow Fabrics, and I just love this fabric. It does crease because viscose does crease, but because it's such a big print, a bold print rather, I'm hoping that won't drive me too mad. So that's on the cards, which is very exciting. So I call this the sort of so what next, because I don't have any particular time scale on this, and I'm sure like many of you, I sort of go through fits and starts of sewing. Sometimes I just sew endlessly, and then other days it doesn't even come into my head. At the moment, I've done a bit of a major cutting out session, so I've got a lot of these ready to go, which is very exciting. And I got a few days a few days off coming up, so I will be able to sew like mad for a bit, because my daughter's back at school, we're into our new house, and I can't do any of the DIY projects that we need to do because I'm not allowed to do DIY. I can sew, but I cannot do DIY. So that's fine with me. I literally asked my husband, I said, is there anything I can do? And he's like, no. I'm like, oh, okay. But I give him his dues. He did actually say, well, you can catch up on your filming if you want to. Not like he's given me permission, but yeah, you know what I mean. So that was really sweet. And then the final thing I wanted to talk to you about is super exciting, because I've never done it before. I am going to make activewear. And when I've made it, I will review it. And in fact, with a lot of these things, I'll probably do separate videos to share with you, particularly with using the Viki Sews website, for example. Did I say that the hoodie top is also from Viki Sews? I'm sorry if I didn't, but I'll do a review of both of those so that you can have a bit more of an insight into the Russian sewing company. But going back to the activewear, I am going to make a sports bra, and they call them leggings, so the Tempo tights from the Greenstyle Creations. Now this is utterly inspired by the wonderful Tamlin from Sewn on the Tyne. I'm absolutely certain you all watch Tamlin. She's such an inspiration, and if I can find it, I think I will be able to. I'll pop the picture here from her on her grid. She just had a baby just a few months ago. What an inspirational picture. She looks just beautiful. And it just got me thinking, could I make sportswear? Could I make athletic wear? Can I make a sports bra that will hold my boobs in? Oh, made me cough just thinking about it. Can I make a bra that will hold these guys to account whilst I'm running? Who knows? Who knows? I have no idea. So the fabric that I'm going to use, so that I'm going to make the power bra. I'm going to make the power bra. I keep dropping the fabric. It's like a comedy show on here today. I'm sorry about that. I'm going to make the power bra by Greenstyle Creations. I'm going to make it using these two fabrics. Now this is when you're making athletics wear, you need to have the right sort of fabric, and it needs to be 4-way stretch. for obvious reasons, that you need to be able to, this needs to absorb your movements, if you like. It also needs to be a fabric that will wick away sweat. So we are not talking natural fibres here at all, nothing to do with cotton. Cotton lycra wouldn't do this. You need full-on spandex or lycra basically. And in my experience, I have found this fabric, athletics wear fabric, very hard to find. Very, very hard to find. And when you do find it, it is super expensive. I never spend more than probably, I don't know, £6 to £7 per metre on fabric. Maybe, if I'm buying from like, you know, other places, then yes, and then up to £15. But I need to know what I'm getting really. It's rarely more than that. And there's some beautiful websites, so Wattle and Slate, Funky Fabrics. Those are the two that spring to mind. But their aesthetic fabric is, I hope I'm saying that right, is I don't know, 17, 18, 19 pounds a metre. It's really beautiful stuff, by the way. But so when I went on to Tier Night, which is my go-to for places to buy lycra from, and this is matte lycra. Now I've made swimwear before in this and I love it, and this is only £6.99 a metre, which is amazing value. And in order to make the I'm going to make the Tempo tights from Greenstyle Creations and the Powerbra from Greenstyle Creations as well. And in order to coordinate the two fabrics and then make the bra and coordination fabrics as well, you'll need a metre. I'm told I need a metre of both, which is great though. So for what, 13, 14 quid, maybe a little bit more plus postage, I'll have a sports bra and some running tights. Well, my daughter's horrified that they're called tights. Running leggings, if you like. So that's what I've gone for. I'm going for a coordination of those two, so lovely teal and a matte grey. Now this fabric is very similar on both sides, but it's very slightly more matte on one than the other. There's very little point in me showing you that because you won't really be able to see that. And it's the same on this one, so that's very matte. And to be honest, that side there is a slightly richer colour, but I really like the flat matte, so that's the side I'm going to be choosing. And my vision is I'll have the teal on the outside and then grey here, and then on my legs the outside panels will be the teal and the grey will be the inside panels. But yeah, I'm really excited about that. Now, I talk about my boobs every now and again. They are very big. I am at the extremity of the Powerbra, the Powerbra design. Shall we put it that way? So I need all the help I can get. And they do actually give you a slight adjustment to make if you are of a larger cup. But it comes on the wider band. It always does me in because I'm quite narrow of chest or under boob, what do they call that? But then obviously you've got big boobs. So the adjustment they make is for people who have got a wider under bust. So I'm going to adapt the pattern to give me the side coverage that I'm going to need. Let's face it, I'm going to need a lot of coverage. So I'm going to put power mesh in as well. Now I've had this lying around for ages. Can't actually remember where I got it, why I got it. Maybe I've done a soiree into underwear before. Hasn't been successful because none of the underwear I might have made in the past or a bra is in my drawer. So anyway, that's a bit of power mesh, and that would just give my bra a bit more structure. And what you do is you basically you create a third layer. It's an optional third layer, and I don't think the pattern actually talks about it, but the Greenstyle Creations has got an amazing Facebook group and lots of people suggested on there. And if you go onto YouTube and Google it, loads of people use power mesh on their designs as well. So I'm really excited about that actually, because I am running loads more. I live in a very, very flat area now, so I have no excuse not to run. There's like marginal hills around where I live. So yes, I'm really looking forward to that. So it's quite a few things, isn't there? So a couple of jumpers, some sportswear, a beautiful dress, a very practical t-shirt. Yeah, I hope I haven't missed anything. But yeah, looking forward to all of that. So as I say, over the coming weeks, I'll do reviews of some of these things because they're quite different, and yeah, just give you a bit more insight and the benefit of my experience in doing these things. And let me know what you think. I would really appreciate that. It's been great to be with you. Don't forget there are lots of ways you can support my channel. Number one, please subscribe, and then follow me over on Instagram, and welcome to all those new subscribers. It's great to have you here. And if you're watching this and you haven't subscribed, please do. Don't be shy. I love you being here, so please subscribe. But also, if you'd like to buy me a coffee, there are details of how you can buy me a coffee on the blurb below my video link, and I would really appreciate that because you're very supportive, and all of that goes straight back into my channel and helps me create the content that I do. So until next time, please stay safe and well. I wonder what of these I'm going to make first. Well, the Frugal Frocks has got to be finished. So then I can see the Petworth dress coming up next, but I'm desperate to make some running gear, so I can't help myself. I don't think I will make that. But until next time, please stay safe and well. It's been great to see you. Take care, everybody. Bye bye.